Today on Herndon Live, we'll be talking about the attacks in Paris and what that means for us in the United States and people all around the world.
Also, later on in the show, we have a few Twitter polls and we'll be giving you those results.
Those stories and more as Herndon Live gets underway. Hello and welcome to Herndon Live. I'm Jack Norcross alongside Mark Seaman. Marco, how are you today?
I am very good today. It's a Friday.
It is Friday and it's a nice day outside, which is very exciting.
And very unusual for November.
Unusual for November, that is right, but we'll be getting to the weather a little bit later on in the show.
Yes.
But we want to begin today with the terrible attacks that have occurred in Paris. We have some facts and we want to make sure that we're letting you know what happened in Paris, and rather you hear it from erroneous people who may just not know what they're talking about.
Yes.
But let's get the facts right. Yes, Mark, go ahead.
Okay. May I say the facts?
Sure, yes,
okay.
Go ahead.
There were separate coordinated attacks in Paris last Friday, about a week from today, almost exactly.
It was a week.
About roughly 129 people were killed in all, though there are some numbers that are still fluctuating. And as you may have already known, ISIS has claimed responsibility for these attacks.
That's right, Mark, and it's a big deal. And also, here's what also we know at this time. The first attack was at Stade de France, which is the national French stadium where the French were playing Germany in a soccer match, football, as they call it in Europe.
Yeah, President, and I'm going to mispronounce this, François Hollande was also in attendance. When it became evident that this was a terrorist attack, he was quickly rushed out of the stadium and he was taken to a safe place, and then the rest of the stadium was evacuated. One person was killed in this in the Stade de France, but it was a suicide bomber.
That's right. And, well, it was actually multi-suicide bombers, but actually one civilian was actually killed. And this was the first event that spurred many from, and this, the three bombings happened in between 9:20 and 9:30.
Yes.
Now the second event, Mark.
Yes. The second event happened at 9:25, 9:40 at the time in Paris. Then several militants fired at the Petite Cambodian restaurant in La Calion Bar, where a total of 39 people were killed in all.
Yes, and very unfortunate event. This was kind of the second event. Like we said, there were 7 coordinated attacks.
Yes.
And this was just kind of the second or third of many. And this would kind of happen at 2 different locations close by to each other, but obviously very effective.
Yes, and I believe the one that was perhaps the biggest one out of these 7 was, of course, the Bataclan theater hostage situation and massacre.
Right.
Now this happened at around 10 o'clock local time, 9:40 to be more exact, where militants entered the Bataclan concert hall where an American band was playing the Eagles of Death metal, and they started firing randomly and people fell to the floor, people were massacred, and the subsequent hostage crisis that lasted for, I believe,
it lasted quite a while. I remember it kind of unfolding on live TV here in America.
But eventually, the remainder of the hostages were safely taken in by the police, and the hostage takers were killed.
Right, and there is some amazing video online of people escaping the terror occurring at the Bataclan. People jumping out of windows. You see this one video that's really heart-wrenching. We've decided not to show it, but it's this one woman who's pregnant, hanging from a windowsill. Fortunately, she made it out alive, which was very fortunate. But I mean, it was just a scary and tough situation as well.
There was also another video going back to the cafe shooting, where it showed through multiple security feeds the attack as it happened.
That's right. Now there has been some arrests made, and it's important to mention that as well. This includes the massive manhunt for the perpetrators, including the ringleader of the attacks, Salah Abdeslam, and many others who are kind of orchestrating this attack.
Yes.
He is the one who is still out on the loose.
Yeah, and he's the one that everyone's trying to look to find because, ironically, the night of the attacks, he was in custody, but because at the time, he was not he was not a suspect, and they therefore let him go, and he proceeded to flee to Belgium, where they now think no speculation, where they have also began a manhunt in the Netherlands because they're in extremely close proximity.
Right, and as you see the facts right there, over 128 raids have been made across the region, which has been very crucial and important. Like we said, there have been many arrests over the past week or so. Many of the attackers were originally from France or Belgium, but they went to Syria where they were radicalized. Mark, how come this doesn't pose as much of a threat to us as it does in Paris, since people from Europe obviously have an easier time to get to Syria?
Yes, multiple reasons. The first one is the fact that many of these attackers, particularly all the ones that were killed and the one that's currently being hunted down, are naturalized citizens of their country. The one that's being hunted was a naturalized Belgian citizen. The one who was killed in a police raid several days ago, I can't pronounce the name, he was a naturalized French citizen. And they were all prison buddies, and therefore they were able to get to know each other, and they could easily get back into the country. And there are no borders protecting different countries in Europe, so you can move about freely. The second reason is the fact that in the United States, not only is there an ocean that separates them, which would make it harder to get across, but there is more screening, and there is more that can be done, like there is more complex evaluation, and now that's everything that's happening with governors closing off borders to any Syrian refugees, it's going to be increasingly more difficult.
Yeah, right. All right, thank you, Mark, so much, and you'll be joining us for our political segment, and we'll talk more about what some of the people along the campaign trail have said about this very issue. But let's right now throw it over to Allie Casseray. She is going to talk about Haley Casseray, excuse me. Woo, it's been a long day, let me tell you. Haley, tell us what is going on in the world of weather.
Okay. Hi, I'm Haley Casseray. It's okay, Jack. So for weather today, we have seen very cold temperatures. Right now it is currently 52 degrees, with the high today being 55, so not much of a difference. And now onto the weekend. And it's going to be a pretty cold weekend also. It's cloudy, it's going to look sunny, but it's going to be how it looks, really sunny, yet it's really cold outside. So it's like the deceiving sun. And then for our week outlook, it's going to be pretty much in the 40s all week, and then it's going to get a little bit warmer as we go into next Friday, with it being 61 as the high and the low being 41 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's going to be mostly sunny. So now on to Crafts with Casseray.
Hello, I'm Allie Casseray, here to give you some fun holiday crafts. So, as you see here, here are some of our finished products. This is a classic walnut that you typically see around the holiday season. And this is almost like a fun popsicle, because you know during the Christmas season you may overindulge on a little treats and sugary items. And then we have a little like Yule log. We represent this though with cinnamon, so you can have your house smelling wonderful like you just baked, even if you didn't. And Miss Rose has said like this is really good to put in your tree. I think it would be delightful inside of a fruit bowl, but that is for you to decide what to do with them when you're done. And all of these are very cheap and fun crafts. So again, we're gonna start with the walnut. So first what you want to do is you want to poke a hole in the walnut. Don't go too deep, but go deep enough to make a slight hole. And then at Michael's they have these fun like fake berry sort of things, but they have sparkles on them because it's not the holidays without over sparkled fruit. And this is probably with the other fake flowers and stuff that a lot of older people buy. Yeah, so you just want to cut like a piece of it off, just enough that there's like part of it sticking out. So I'm gonna cut some of this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you just want it to have a stem so that it will be able to stick in there properly. And see, there you go. You can put a bunch of stuff in there and it looks so festive. Okay, so now on to the Yule log. So this craft, you want to get some cinnamon sticks that we have here, and you just want to break them. So this is how you take out your, like, you're probably going to be angry during this season because your family will be in your home. And although you love them, you don't necessarily like them. So pretend that this is like your uncle, your cousin, and just break the cinnamon stick just as so. Maybe it's an easier cinnamon stick. I won't break. And there, it broke. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to take some Elmer's glue. Everyone has this. You probably had it as a child, or your children use this. And you want to be as careful as possible. So since the lids usually get stuffed up with glue, you can take a little like pencil, little stick, and just put it in there and just glue the Yule logs on top of each other. Like, picture the fireplace that you've always wanted and just recreate it with these sticks. And so, after it's done and dry, you want to take it and get your festive ribbons and stuff, and you want to just cut it and just tie it all around your Yule logs because you want them to be tight and loving and just close together so they stay warm during the bitter cold. Yeah, and then after you do that and you tie it real nice, then you can add, again, these great berries that I showed earlier. These berries, just put them on everything and automatically Christmas. Like, you see me, if I just wear this like this, automatically festive and Christmassy. So if anything, just throw a bunch of these around your house and just say you decorated. Yeah, just like throw it in your hair. Yeah, and just like let it be there. So now on to one of our final craft is our popsicle type little festive thing. The key is to get Christmas style fabric. So this one we see is red and white like a candy cane. or like these with little Christmas trees on them. And what you're gonna do is, this is almost like a popsicle stick-like material, and you wanna flatten it with a hammer. Again, you can take out your violence that you may hold towards your relatives and just hammer it out so it's flat. Once it is flat, you want to take your little ball. These are like what you used when you were in elementary school to make the planets, and you just shove it in there, and then you twist. And then that makes it so it won't come off. And then, this is fun, you cover it like it's a ghost or you're playing peekaboo with it. And after you put it on to play peekaboo, you want to make sure that it doesn't get out. So you want to cut it right here and make sure that you can tie it, and it will be really nice and beautiful with a nice little bow. And then that like just does it for our holiday things. Yeah, and by the way, these are also very helpful and fun to glue onto things. They're little like buttons almost of snowflakes. And another fun fact, to make the little ends of your fabric more fun, get these pinking scissors. And from my house to yours, have a wonderful holiday season.
All right, and thank you, Ali Castaway, for crafts. Oh, crap, this one. Okay, so we were just recently tweeted at by Doug Hammer, the chief meteorologist of NBC. He just wanted to let us know that there was something wrong with our weather. Apparently, tomorrow's outlook, it's not going to be a low of 37. He said it's going to be even colder than that. So shout out to Doug for tweeting at us, and just wanted to clear that for oh my gosh. I don't know if y'all heard that, but it sort of spiked a second. But anyway, so yeah, I am joined by James Pingatore, and we are going to be talking about the process of making a short film. I'm not sure if we're going to cut to the wide because James is right here with me, but we are both in the film production class over at Fairfax Academy for Communications and the Arts. There we go. And so yeah, tell me about the class. This is your first year. This is my second year taking it. Tell me what you think about the class.
It is my first year, and it's pretty fun. I get to miss TA because I hate that kid's crap or stuff. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I've always had a little interest in movies and how they made them, so it's pretty cool. Pretty cool class.
So since it's only second quarter, the first quarter we went over a lot about pre-production and like scheduling and making scripts and stuff like that. Now that we're in second quarter, we're delving into production a little bit more. So tell me a little bit about what you learned, what we learned in pre-production, and then maybe a little bit about what we're doing now in the class.
We learned about script writing and how to write the script for the movie or a movie you want to write, and yeah, and we learned about tripods and all that good stuff.
Yeah, equipment is like very important, and understanding how to use your equipment for the movie that you're making. So basically, this segment was titled how a movie's made or how to make a movie, but I'm not sure how much I can tell you in 7 minutes on how to make a movie. But let's start off with pre-production, because that's what we are masters of, sort of at the moment. That's what we've been taught. So basically, pre-production has many different components. There is the writing, the screenwriting. There's also management,
location.
Yeah, locations, getting actors, scheduling. Everything that happens before you go out and film is called pre-production. And you worked on a project last quarter. So, from what I understand, pre-production was not
it was non-existent, pretty much.
It wasn't very strong. So that, and then later on, that can affect the rest of your project. So, pre-production is very important. Calendars, shot lists.
Got to stick to the production calendar and all that.
Sticking to the production calendar, communication, coordination, collaboration. I mean, that's I always go off on those, but that's very important in pre-production, making sure that everyone's on the same page, everyone knows what's going on, and making sure that everyone can make it to the shoots. Yeah, so the elements in your movie, depending on what you're doing, action, comedy, all that, you have to be, you have to think reasonably when you're writing the script, what you can do, what you can't. When you're setting locations, you usually have to call or get in contact with the place that you want to shoot at beforehand, so that way you can write up a contract or something like that to make sure that they are okay with you using their space for the movie.
Yep, that's pretty well. We practically shot our film here. It was okay with Miss Rose. Shout out to Miss Rose over there. And yeah, it turned out okay for what we did and the circumstances. It could have been a lot better. We had big ideas and didn't really turn out what we really wanted, but it turned out okay.
Yeah, I remember your project was very funny. So so kudos to your screenwriter, your writer.
Daniel Pratt, if he's watching. I don't think he's watching, but
so that's pre-production. I'm trying to go very quickly. Production is shooting on location, your talent. So so production is the most frustrating. Well, it depends. It depends.
Important.
It is, of course, because without production you wouldn't have any material to work with. But production is filming. I've said that already. Yeah. But the roles that go into production, there's directors, there's camera operators, lighting,
just actors, of course, and important people getting like food and water to hydrate people.
Production assistants and such. So tell me about the roles that in your project, how like directors, actors, what was the relationship like, and how.
We really didn't have a lot of actors in our film per se, but we had Eddie. Eddie was our director, and I was one of the actors, and it was kind of hard because I had a lot of stuff to do outside of my personal life, and it was kind of hard to schedule shoots and get it edited on time and all that good stuff. So it was kind of hard, but it turned out okay.
Yeah, so these projects we normally have like a month or like the whole quarter to work on and turn it in. But yeah, but during production, there's like the director's job is to direct the talent, tell them what the shot is, how they're supposed to be conveying their character, and so on. And then there's so many more roles that go into it, like lighting and audio. Like we have boom operators and such. But 1 minute left. So next, I'm not sure if did you do any editing in your last project? Or
Eddie did most of the editing, but yes, we did some editing.
Yeah, so post-production is the stage that a lot of people don't think about too much when it comes to movie making. Well, I'm sure nowadays they do because a lot of movies require visual effects. But post-production is visual effects, sound effects, splicing together the piece, music, audio, everything is touched up, cut together, and oh my gosh, and a big one is color correction.
Yes, oh god, yes.
the cameras that we use in class, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinemas, have very flat images, so you have to pull color, and so post-production
can be a pain.
It can, but I've always found it to be a lot of fun piecing together everything and stylizing it even after it's already been filmed with color or tightening shots or just piecing it together in the sequence of events and seeing it all come together. So
yeah, that's pretty much how a movie's made. Pre-production, production, post-production.
And there's a lot more roles that go into it.
Yes, a lot more roles.
A lot more roles. I mean, Hollywood movies, they have hundreds of people working on.
Just a script alone.
Yeah, just certain areas. I mean, lighting and sound, they have so many people working on these little things about a movie to make it happen. But over at Fairfax, we're working in small groups, at most 6 people, to make these projects happen. So hopefully soon we should be able to show them on the show.
And you should join up Fairfax Production TV if you're interested.
Yes.
It's kind of fun.
Definitely. So that is it for how to make a movie. I'm going to throw it over to an HCTV promo. See you in a bit.
Fashion. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Hello, I'm Ritu Preddy.
And I'm Loja Preddy.
And today we're here to talk about fall fashion and what to wear, the clothing, the types of clothing you're going to wear, the style, the confidence that you're going to look in the fall. And we're going to help you build that confidence in you.
And pick the right outfits. Okay, let's go. So first it's sweaters, like 'cause in fall it gets a little chilly, so you need to like get warm. So I think sweaters are the perfect idea.
I love all the prints, the stripes, the heart shape. And I love the idea of wearing shirt underneath your sweater. I think that looks really cute.
And like throwing like a statement necklace, it'll look really pretty.
Or like scarves and like,
Yeah.
and you can wear Uggs or
You
military
can wear it with
boots.
like jeans, skirts,
Combat
dresses,
boots.
anything. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And then the leather jacket. I think leather jacket like makes you look really confident and like really bold.
Yeah, I love the idea. Like, it does make you look really confident when you're like walking in the hallway and then you're like in your leather jacket. And I think like wearing scarves in your leather jacket and then like skirts, like
Yeah.
skater
You
skirt.
can like wear leather jacket.
And
with, like,
I don't know
anything.
why, but I think wearing like leather jacket and then like long leather boots looks really cute too. I think
Yeah, like
I
with jeans. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
look really
I
pretty.
think that looks really cute.
So, and there are mini skirts. Okay,
Taylor
so
Swift.
you can wear like mini skirts with like tights, with like long leather boots or like any kind of long boots, knee boots with like leg warmers. It'll look really cute.
Yeah, I like the crop tops and the skirts
And the
mini
shirt.
skirt. And the shirt. Yeah, I like it. And like with a statement necklace or just like a simple necklace. That
yeah,
looks really
it looks
cute
really
too.
pretty. And you can throw in like a trench coat on top of it to keep yourself warm.
Or like scarves and then like long socks, like knee socks, and then you can wear knee boots
long knee boots.
and
yeah.
high heel knee boots. That looks
Yeah.
really cute.
Okay, rain boots or riding boots. Okay, it's fall. It's like known for like boots because it gets so on like a rainy day you can wear rain boots, and like dry sunny day you can wear like riding boots. Riding boots I think look good with like anything.
It looks good with anything. It looks good with skater skirts or like pencil skirts or
Dresses.
or yoga pants or jeans. Anything. I think
anything.
it looks really cute. And I love this boot. Like, it's so cute.
Yeah, with the bow on the back, it's really
and the
cute.
color combination. It looks so pretty.
Yeah.
I want to get that.
And then the trench coat. I love the trench coat, like
I
with
love
any
it.
look. It's so pretty.
My favorite look of the trench coat is like white jeans and then like high heels, like tan high heels, and then like black and golden boots. I mean, not boots, sorry, bag.
Yeah.
And like a bun on the head like she's making. I think that looks really cute.
yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay, that's it for today.
So I think that your look, like the dress, like the way you dress, makes you who you are, and like people who look at you the first time, they will judge you by like how they look. So
yeah.
look
That's
good.
what I do first impression.
Me
like,
too.
look
Like
at what
if
they're
I look at
wearing.
you, then like I look at like how you're dressed, and I think that's really important for everyone.
You know, I
boys
think like,
and
everybody's
girls.
unique in their own style,
Yeah.
like what they wear.
Mhm.
So instead of like following like trends, like everyone, like I like
Just-
to like follow my own.
Yeah,
thing.
follow your own thing. Just make up your own trends, make up everything, and just dress who you are. So,
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, hello, and welcome. I am joined now by Mark and James, our 2 political analysts, and this is the Political Roundtable. It's kind of become a bi-weekly segment that we always seem to get to, which is very interesting as well. So it's been a very eventful week over the past week in the news business. Campaign, not a lot happening. They
It's
had-
kind of fallen like second.
Yes, it's kind of has fallen a little bit this week, at least. Let's begin with the reaction on the campaign trail to what happened in
Paris.
In Paris. There's obviously some questions about refugees coming to America. There are also questions about religion. Talk about what the Republicans had to say this week.
Well, Donald Trump wants to list all Muslims, right? On like register them in a database, and he wants to close all mosques, which I do not agree with because that's kind of breaking the First Amendment.
Right.
But then there's Rubio saying that we should close all places that sponsor terrorists, if it's a cafe, diner, or anywhere else, a church, cathedral, whatever, and just close it up so no terrorists are going. And states don't want Syrian refugees.
Right, and there's also been a separate conversation, though, about the refugees coming into America, and obviously the United States has been one of the more welcoming countries in the world to accept refugees. What have people been saying on the political trail, presidential campaign trail, about that fact?
Well, not a lot. They're focused more on like registering everyone in every Muslim in a database and all that stuff. But there's governors in certain states that don't want Syrian refugees, and that's pretty much overshadowing what they're saying on the campaign trail. So.
Right. Yes, that's very interesting. Mark, turning to you now. What has the reaction been on the Democratic side of things?
The reaction in terms of the Paris attacks, I mean, I think it's all known that it was such a tragedy that it happened. And this attack, as evidenced by the debate, is forcing people on the campaign trail to readjust their strategy with like this new information and this new event. Now, Clinton and Sanders and I always forget his name. O'Malley.
Oh my God.
I apologize, O'Malley. They are all now. They haven't said any specifics like Rubio has, like Trump has. But they're now having to reorganize their methods in the campaign trail, and like you said earlier, now that they're being overshadowed, it seems like a time to do so.
Right. Okay. Let's now talk about the polling, because polling is obviously a big deal, and new polling has come out since the last time we've talked. And looking at this now, we can obviously that Kasich, Fiorina, Paul, Huckabee, and Christie, they are all at 3%. However, we've ranked it so that it's the higher 3% list at the top. Looking at this list, James, who do you see as making an improvement in their numbers, and who do you see as their numbers are falling or it's time to drop out?
I see Rubio, his numbers, I think he's going to get over 20% of the vote eventually if he keeps this up. And the person who's going to fall and drop out, I think it's a big tie between pretty much everyone at 3%, because I don't see any chance of them.
Let's talk about Chris Christie, because we talked about him a little bit during the before the Fox Business Network debate, and he was in the earlier
happy hour.
The happy hour debate, yes. Did he and Huckabee, who is also another one who moved down, did they do anything to help themselves?
I think
by
Chris
being
Christie
in a smaller
did.
Right.
Chris Christie, I think he won the happy hour debate because he's had experience in the primetime debate, and
Right.
Bobby Jindal, who dropped out, and Huckabee. Huckabee didn't really do pretty well, or didn't do well, and Santorum didn't do well.
Right.
Everyone else, or Chris Christie, he did pretty well. Just
Right.
Yeah.
So nothing too. Was there anything else that surprised you from that debate?
Not really. No.
Not really.
It was pretty. Rubio saying a couple things that got a huge reaction, and then there's Trump, who's being Trump.
Right. All right, well, let's move on to the Democratic Party, Mark. We obviously still have Clinton, Sanders, and O'Malley in the race. Since we've last talked, nobody has lost. But O'Malley has actually gained some traction in the polls. What's your reaction to that, Mark?
Well, I say that it is true that he's gaining ground, but it's more like walking extremely slowly behind Clinton, who's like running, who's sprinting, and you have Sanders, who's keeping a good, healthy pace. So, yes, he's gaining support from 1% to 4%, but in the long run, that won't affect anything. I suspect he'll have to drop out.
Okay, and how about Sanders? Because his numbers have dropped a little bit, Mark, since we've last talked. What is his problem? What does he need to do in order to take control and overall win the party nomination?
Well, we've seen multiple times in the preceding months that he's doing several unethical things as opposed to everyone else who's running for president. I believe, and I'm paraphrasing, he's not accepting money from larger corporations.
Right.
With his helping with his campaign, and therefore that's a big one, and it'll be difficult.
Okay, so very interesting. Clinton obviously still remaining strong. What does she need to do in order to keep her spot in the as the top tier candidate?
Well, I believe that Clinton she's obviously doing a good job in terms of gaining public support because she has over 50% of the Democratic polls. So it seems that she hasn't made a mistake so far. And it doesn't seem like those numbers are getting any lower. And in the coming months, I believe she'll continue to rise.
All right, well, very interesting conversation. Thank you both very much. And coming up right now is our first HCTV promo celebrating 25 years of Herndon Community Television.
The girlfriends are watching.
I don't have one.
Oh, you don't have one? Well, you will after they see you on TV.
The interviews.
Well, Herndon is a very...
The
girlfriends
moments.
Are watching.
I don't have one.
Oh, you don't have one? Well, you will after they see you on TV.
The interviews.
Well, Herndon is a very cool town in Northern Virginia.
The events. The latest.
And breaking news right now, John Boehner has just resigned.
This is Herndon Community Television, keeping the town of Herndon all in one place for the past 25 years.
All right, girl, you go. No, see, she's feeling, she's tasting you.
Use everything possible to give kids an opportunity to communicate their creative voice.
Mason, do you watch Channel 23 HCTV?
I sure do.
What do you like about it?
It's nice to be able to turn in the TV and see what's going on with the town of Herndon.
Welcome to the World Police and Fire Games 2015.
25 years of keeping the community connected. That's our promise to you. Herndon.
All right, thank you so much for that promo. Joined now by Mark Seaman, Emily N, James Pingator once again. Been an interesting day so far.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And we also have some great Herndon Live polls that have just been released, and some things we're going to be talking about today, which are very exciting. What were your thoughts of the polls before we get to them? Well, I actually want to begin with one thing. We had 230 votes with this, which is
nice.
Very exciting and very interesting as well. But anyway, let's begin with what was your first impressions of the polls? Did you think they were good? Were you surprised?
I think that this one in particular I really liked because it's a question that comes up a lot, not in our environment, but just in general. Like if you walk up to somebody random in the street, or you went to go to someone in a restaurant, and you say, "Would you rather be happy or rich?" And
you do that? You walk up to a stranger?
No. Yes, I'd be like, "Can I have some of that? And would you be happy or rich?" No, but it's like if you ask somebody, like if I were to ask you, would you rather be happy or rich? Or if I ask James the same thing, you may get the same answer, you may get different ones, and it could be very interesting to see who picks one.
What I like about this question is how I think it rubs off on our generation, who has a more, I don't know, because we're a little bit younger. I'm sure that you could ask an older generation, you know, would you rather be happy or rich? And they would, I don't know, maybe they could go either way, I guess, too. But I mean, our generation, I feel like it was interesting to me to see if they would rather be rich due to the ideals that we're surrounded by every day, or happy.
I agree with you 100%. I think that's what surprised me most. So let's take a look at our results here. Once again, the question is, would you rather be happy or rich? Here are the results right here. 70% said that they'd rather be happy, to 30% who said they'd rather be rich.
What if you could be happy and rich?
That wasn't the question.
That wasn't the question mark. Let's not rephrase. But I was, like Emily said, I was really surprised considering that most of our following, especially on Twitter, is a younger demographic. James, what did you think? What were your thoughts?
I'm kind of shocked because a lot of people make money makes them happy. So I was hoping for a little more like a closer poll. Guess not. I guess a lot of people want to be happy more than rich.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised because at the beginning, when we first put out the poll, it was almost 100% to 0 with the favoring the rich part of the question, which personally surprised me. But I was amazed to see how much it turned around in the end, which was surprising as well. Okay, our next question, which is the 2016 presidential race important to you? Emily, this is still far away, but what do you think the reaction was going to be from this crowd?
Again, I was interested to see our generation and what they thought, because there are a handful of us who will be able to vote in the 2016 election. I know I missed the voting day by just a few days, but because my birthday is just a few days off. But so I was interested to see if people are if they're following the facts. Are they looking at the candidates? Is it something that they're like, I know adults, they watch the news, they're really looking or studying who they would vote for and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see if our generation is following along with the politics or not. I know, because especially our generation is very involved with school, and we don't have a lot of time, or maybe we're just not invested in these sort of things. So I don't know. What are the results? Are people invested in?
James, prediction. What did you think win this one?
I'm going to say no. Our generation's kind of apathetic, and they usually don't. They usually don't care.
No, I can see that.
They usually don't.
Yes
care.
or no, Emily? That's your prediction.
I mean, considering what I see on Twitter, how there's some people on Twitter who I know are very they talk a lot about their political opinions. So maybe yeah.
Mark,
I think it could be either or, because also jumping off what you said, there are people who talk a lot about their political opinions, but then there's also a lot of politicians who are pretty active on social media. So it kind of like they kind of connect, and therefore you get to see like how is it interesting.
Right. All right, well, here are the results. Question is, once again, is the 2016 presidential race important to you? And the results right here, 73% said yes, it was important to them.
James.
While the 27% said no. James, your immediate reaction?
Oh, wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. I'm shocked. I thought there were going to be a lot more no's than just 27%.
No, me too.
And Mark, what do you think makes this election so unique this year?
I think because we're in high school, and there are some people, like Emily said, that are already able to vote, and they probably may vote. And then there's also the fact that, like, when this is all right, I can't vote now, and I probably still won't be 18 for another 2 years. But even when I get out, this person, it's going to be the same president. So it's like, maybe I should still like be aware as to like who people are going to elect, like, because it will depend. My future will depend on it.
They're also thinking about like lowering the voting age.
Right.
I read something about that. I don't know if it's going to go through or not, but they're thinking about lowering the voting age to 16 now. Don't know.
interesting.
I was reading.
And this interests me because, I mean, when you talk to your friends, I mean, I don't know about you, Jack, because I know that you like to talk about the news a lot, but, I mean, the political, like, the presidential race isn't the first thing that we talk about. It's not like an icebreaker. Or, I mean, maybe it is considered an icebreaker, but, I mean, it's not one that our generation, or at least from what I know, talk about a lot. I mean, sometimes, yeah, if there's something funny that Trump said or Sanders said,
Right.
I mean, people will be like, did you see this? I mean, but it's not really like, oh, I plan on voting, or, oh, I'm really invested in politics. And so this is shocking to me. It's kind of nice to see that people care.
And Mark, final question about this. Do you think politics are making a comeback in the United States? Do you think people are really saying, wow, you know, there is a real problem in the United States and something needs to be done about it?
I would say no, partially because there are problems that are around now that have been around for 10 years or possibly even 20 years or maybe even farther back. I think that with what I said earlier, like the involvement of social media with like determining political races, that's more of a player, but I don't think that it's like this whole thing is like such an eye opener. Like, oh my gosh! I think that it's like people are just they're more aware of it, yes, but they may not necessarily like. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Good point. All right, moving on to our next and final question. On average, do you go to sleep before 11 p.m. on a school night? Yes or no, before 11 p.m. or after 11 p.m.? Let's just share our opinions. Personally, I go to bed before 11 p.m. Partially, yes, every day. Partially because I take a class before school starts at 7 o'clock. But also, Mark.
What class?
Vocal jazz. But I just feel like, you know, have I slept going to bed after 11 p.m.? Yes, it doesn't work very few times, but I always go to bed before 11 p.m. James, personally, you?
I go to bed after 11.
Like what time?
Midnight, 1 o'clock.
Oh, jeez. That's pretty bad.
Jeez, that feels like a norm. I mean,
it does feel like
I go to bed after 11. I have work to do, and
but you take a 5-hour nap in the middle of the day.
Okay,
You're kind of irregular.
that is true. I always get tired during the day, so I do take naps. But don't knock naps. They're awesome.
Oh, I take naps too. But
I go to bed maybe 12. At the earliest on a weekday. This question is for
weekdays. Yeah, I'm different on the weekend.
Weekends, I go to bed maybe like 8 if I'm not doing anything.
8.
Mark,
I go to bed generally after 11.
Like what time?
11:30. No, I generally around 11:30 midnight.
Oh, so not too much.
Yeah, it's like everyone else.
I'm assuming you're going to agree that most people said after 11 p.m.
Our generation, like with all the schoolwork that we have, this grade junior year, at least for most of us and most of our following, after 11.
All right, well, if we can move the next slide on this one, my iPad dies, so that's not too good. But anyway, here are the results right now. 32% said they go to bed before 11 p.m., 68% after 11 p.m. I mean, part of the reason that talking about the time change, which I know we've talked about on the show before, I mean, obviously, I also used to go to bed at 11 p.m. before the time change, and I've tried to still make it 11 p.m. too, to try to get more sleep. Is there an effect on the time change, do you think, for school? I think
so, because even if you go to bed at midnight, depending on whether you take a bus or you drive or someone drives you, you generally still get 6.5, 7 hours of sleep, which, granted, isn't a lot, but I think for certain people it's probably enough to at least get, get you going. I still need to know why you go to bed at 1 o'clock.
I said between midnight and 1.
Because I have homework to do.
Yeah.
1?
But I remember before, the time change, when you had to get up at 6 o'clock or even 5:30, I was like, it's 11 o'clock. I have to get to sleep or else I won't be able to function. I'll be a zombie in the morning.
You know what the time change doesn't really have an effect on when I go to sleep, but what it does have an effect on is whether or not, because if I'm working on something till 1 in the morning, then I realize, oh my gosh, I have to wake up at 5. Like last year, because the school started at 7:10, and then I realized that I have to wake up only in a few hours, then maybe there were a few times last year I pulled all-nighters just to get stuff done. And I realized that if I'm only going to get 3 hours of sleep, then what's the point?
I pulled a one-nighter
So,
last year.
A one-nighter and all-nighter?
All-nighter?
Yeah, I only pulled one, and I just like went 48 hours without sleep.
Oh, God.
And when I put my head on the couch, I think I slept through a whole day.
Yeah, it's just this time the school's schedule change has an effect when I go to sleep. It's honestly, I think just that extra hours, it doesn't affect my behavior, but I think that it does give me an extra hour of sleep, so I like it. I know some people don't because of traffic.
It would be better if it was at noon, but take what you get. Just kidding.
Yeah, well, it's a good point. All right, well, thank you for that great discussion. And next slide, we're done with this poll. But obviously, Thanksgiving is coming up in the near, next week, next Thursday, actually. And to get into the Thanksgiving mood, we're going to go around and say what we're thankful for. Mark, let's begin with you. What are you thankful for?
Oh, wait, are we going to start with Allie?
Nope.
Oh, should we start with Allie?
Oh,
let's go, Mark. Let's do this part. We'll do this, then we'll go to the control room.
Okay,
And see what they
I'm
say.
thankful for two things. One is for family, the other for movies.
Okay.
Both are very important to my life.
All right, well, there you have it. Yes, Emily?
Darn, I totally agree with that. Family, number one, my mom, my brother. We recently, my cat, and then we found a whole bunch of kittens in my backyard, so I'm also thankful for the kittens because they're just there. And then movies for just making my life awesome.
James?
I'm thankful for my family, my mom, my dad, my sister Kelly. She's not here right now. She's at basketball. My two cats.
Yeah, cats.
My two cats are, love them both. And my car. My car is my, I'm thankful for my car. My cars are awesome.
All right.
It's perfect.
You just got it recently, didn't
Yep.
you? Wow.
Personally, I am thankful for my family, my friends, how fortunate I am to, get to do the things that I get to do on a day-to-day basis. And I'm also thankful for my 3 cats. I don't think that tops Emily. Emily, how many do you have?
I have one.
One,
you have
one,
one.
two,
You have kittens.
3.
Kittens.
Okay,
How about the
there
kittens?
There were 5 kittens. We've managed to give 3 of them homes.
Okay, so you have 3 too?
If any of our viewers would like a kitten, I have 2.
Okay.
2 boys who are very, very
All right,
kind.
so kittens,
Very
yeah,
sweet.
so we're obviously a cat round table instead, which is exciting. But I'm fortunate for everything. Herndon Live, love Herndon Live.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, all very great. I'm going to throw it over to Allie now and Haley, and then we'll go to Marie DeLaggio right after that and see what they had to say.
Hey, I'm Allie, and this Thanksgiving, I'm very thankful for the people around me. I can honestly say right now that everyone that's around me and in my life right now, I feel truly cares about me, and I also feel extremely blessed this year, not only for the people around me, but also for the good stuff that I feel has been coming my way lately. Also my health, like everyone else, and my family's been really awesome too. So yeah, I'm just thankful for the people in my life and all the experiences I've gotten so far this year, and I can't wait to see what next year brings. But yeah, 2015's been a good year, so that's what I'm thankful for.
Hi, I'm Haley Cassray, and this Thanksgiving I'm thankful for my love for Jack Norcross and my family and my friends and my lovely sister. And my red hair. Okay. Bye.
This season, I'm thankful for being fortunate enough to have a nice family, to get an education, and get to live up to my dreams, and hoping to be successful one day. This season, I'm thankful for being fortunate enough to have a nice family, to get an education, and get to live up to my dreams, and hoping to be successful one day.
Okay, well, unfortunately, we lost out on Mridu. Mridu said that she was thankful for education, for the great opportunity she has in America. And it was really sweet. Hopefully, we can maybe find that together. One thing that I wanted to add is I'm thankful for the news. Anything else at the table that we wanted to add? No.
Food.
For my cats. For my cats.
That's good. Thanksgiving food. All right, now we're going to throw it to the control room, which you see very little of, but we want to recognize these people. They work so hard to put the show together every week, and they have some things they are thankful for. Take it away, guys.
Hey, I'm Edward. This Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for my family, all my friends, Robbie, Kieran, James, Mark, Raleigh, the whole squad. I'm just thankful for everything, basically, It's just nice.
Hi, I'm thankful for my family and buffalo wings. It's good.
I am thankful for turkey and bacon, but not together.
Mr. Rose, cut back. We want to hear Mr. Rose, please.
Mr. Rose.
Thank you. All right, good. Turn the camera. Mr. Rose, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for all you guys and being able to play with you guys every 2 weeks.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Mr. Rose. Thank you. All right.
I feel loved.
All right, well, that's good. All right, well, that concludes our show for today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jack Norcross.
I'm James Pingatore.
I'm Emily Ann.
Mark Seaman here.
All right. I don't know if we got to see them, but here they are.
We're here.
Oh,
Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you join us right back here in 2 weeks. Have a great Thanksgiving and a great weekend. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Ciao.